So in creating the Khyber Crusade force, we're an Alpha Legion force, so we built our first list and based everything on the initial thing off of the Deceptors data sheet. So that was the formation for our list, and we went and spent all 5 requisition points so that we could start off with 2,000 points. However, since we were going to be raiding in this crusade, I also came up with a list using the Renegade Raiders data slate. And in case any of my crusade opponents decided to hit back at this crusade narratively, I needed a garrison list to garrison the sites that were setting up these Blackstone Noctilith crowns. So I also wrote up a list for the Chaos Cult list. And then, however, we are going to only start though with the Deceptors list, and we'll be building our force up so that we can then morph into any one of these 3 lists. So as you can see, I have made up 3 different lists. The starting list, the list that we're going to use to start our crusade, is a 2,000 point Deceptors list that you can see here. However, I eventually want to be able to use Raiders, and I have checked off things from the first list that now are in the formation that make up the second list, so I know what to work for and where to go. And finally, we have a third list for cult and garrison forces, and I've done the same. Now we're going to go over the first Deceptor list. Leading the Khyber Crusade is Lord Mogwar, a Chaos Lord in Terminator armor with a combi bolter and an exalted weapon. In the campaign, he will be leading the Serpent's Fang, a group of 5 Terminators, 2 of them with combi bolters, 2 with combi weapons, 2 with cursed weapons, 2 with power fists, and finally a champion with a heavy flamer and a chain fist. They'll be dropping in behind opposing lines on the Deceptor list to administer the coup de grace. They might be rapid ingressing with the 0 CP ability of Lord Mogwar to use a stratagem. Next up in the command lineup, we have Dravos the Deceiver. He'll be providing support to a 10-man Chaos Space Marine squad. Next up, we have Salonis the Headhunter. He'll be used as an assassin and often joining squads of Chaos Space Marines. Next, we have Conrad the Crazed. He is a firebrand. We are using a Ravaged Stars model to represent the firebrand model because we haven't finished ours yet. And quite frankly, I really like the look of this one, and I'm going to use the other one for another crusade. Next up, we have the Dark Commune, known as the Harkoni Cabal. Only difference there is we've done some head swaps, and we also, rather than use the Psyker that came with it, we modified one that came with the Blackstone Fortress set, and they'll be leading a group of cultists. Next up, we have Squad Alpha 1. Squad Alpha 1 contains a champion with a cursed weapon and plasma pistol, 1 plasma gun, 1 dark tome, 1 with a chaos icon, and of course, a Reaper chain gun. Then there is Squad Alpha 2. Alpha 2 has a champion with a cursed weapon and plasma pistol, 1 missile launcher, 1 chaos icon, a plasma gun, and 1 heavy assault weapon or heavy chain weapon. Next up, we have the Harkoni Hunters, a 20-man Chaos Cultist squad, followed up by a 20-man Cultist squad known as the Forsworn. Then we have Colonel Blackheart's squad of Stygian Guard, which includes 1 plasma gun, 1 grenade launcher, 1 melt-a-gun, and of course, Colonel Blackheart's bolter and power weapon. We then have the Hydra Havocs, a 5-man Havoc squad. We have 2 las cannons, 2 missile launchers, a champion with a flamer. We then have the Dark Devastators, 2 Chaos Obliterators. On the Deceptor datasheet use, they will be used either to deep strike in, to complete an encirclement, or to provide a base of fire and overwatch for infiltrating units. We then have Markov the Malignant. He is a Hellbrute. He'll be used to support either one of the two Vindicators in the list, or possibly keeping him close to the Hydra Havocs. Next we have the Dread Despoiler, a Chaos Vindicator. That'll be providing critical fire support for the infiltrating Alpha Legion forces. And then we have the Dread Devastator, a Chaos Vindicator with a combi weapon, and like the last Vindicator, it'll perform the same role of supporting and taking out enemy armor and supporting the Alpha Legion infiltrators.